Thank you for coming tonight, and we will have introductions in a little bit and installation just as soon as we're following our dinner. I'm Julie Pomerantz. I'm installation chair this year. We're very happy you're all able to be here. And I would like to call on Leah and Samantha Nadell to lead us in Hamotzi. And then if everybody would go up there to receive your meal, and we will begin. Very much. That was beautiful. B'tei Avon, everyone, and please feel free to step forward to receive your meal. And if several of you are still eating, please feel free to keep eating. We have a little bit of a time crunch tonight because our Torah Fund event is following this event at 7:30. So we would like to go ahead and begin. I'm going to call up Cantor Renee Waghalter to lead us in the Birkat.
Good evening, everybody. We'll turn to page 62 in your blue bencher. We're going to do the shortened version of the Birkat Hamazon. Chaverai nevarech. Yishem Aram mevarach netaviad olam. B'yeshur chaverai nevarech Eloheinu shachol mishalo. Baruch Eloheinu shachol mishalo tuvo chayinu. Baruch hu baruch shemo. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hazan et haolam kulo b'tuvo v'chaim b'chesed u'rachamim. Hu noten lechem l'chol basar ki le'olam chasdo. U'v'tuvo ha'gadol tamid lo chasar lanu ve'ayachsar lanu. Eretz Chemda Tova Orchava, Brit B'Torah, Chaim U'Mazon, Yitbarach Shimcha, B'Pichocha Tamid Le'olam Va'ed, Kakatu V'Yachalta V'Savata U'Berachta, Et Adonai Elohecha, Al Ha'aretz HaTova Asher Natan Lach, Baruch Atah Adonai, Al Ha'aretz Ve'al Hamazon, U'B'nei Yerushalayim Ya'kodesh המלך הטוב והמיטיב לכל, הוא היטיב, הוא מיטיב, הוא ייטיב לנו, הוא אנו גומלנו יגמלנו לעד. חן וחסד ורחמים, ויזכנו ללמוד המשיח. הרחמן יברך את הארץ הזאת, ויגן עליה. הרחמן יברך את אחינו בני ישראל הנתונים בצרה, ויוציאם מאפלה לאורה. הרחמן יברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. ונישא ברחמי את אדוני, וצדקה מלאשנו, ונמצא חן ושכל טוב בין אלוהים ואדם. עושה שלום ירומם, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, וימלאו אמן.
Asher thank you, Kenner Waghalter. Welcome to the Sisterhood installation. My name is Julie Pomerantz, and I am this year's installation chairperson. Before we begin tonight, I would like to extend a mazel tov to Judy Rosenstock on becoming the recipient of the Marcia Sheena Memorial Award. Judy, where are you? There she is. Judy, your honor is well deserved, and we look forward to hearing from you later this evening. Karen Lucan is out of town, but I want you all to know that she was our nominating chair this year, and she did a phenomenal job of putting our board together for next year. I would now like to introduce our guests sitting at the dais tonight, our own cantor Renee Waghalter, and we have Belinda Den here, our current president, almost outgoing, and her husband Scott Shanan. And then at the next table, we have incoming President Shelley Nadell. Yay! And she's here, her mom is here with us tonight, Bernice Levitt, and Shelley's husband David, and her children Leah and Samantha. We also have incoming President Lori Rubin with her family, Stephen Rubin, Rachel, and Alan. Now, some of you might be wondering, in fact, I know some of you are definitely wondering, what the teddy bear centerpieces are doing in the middle of your tables. No, you are not at a bat mitzvah luncheon, and you're also not at a baby shower. I wanted to have a very special theme for installation, and I desperately needed an idea. One thing when I learned when I was president was to make use of our wonderful resources from Women's League, so I contacted Women's League in New York. They sent me a list of themes. One idea was a rainbow theme, specifically dealing with the significance of the colors of the rainbow in Judaism. Well, this was perfect for two reasons. First, it is spring, a time ripe with color, and second, I remember that I had these rainbow-colored teddy bears that my sister and brother-in-law gave to me a couple of years ago from their store in Corpus Christi. They had wanted me to donate them at some point, and now we have our chance. I contacted Shelley, Lori, and Belinda and asked them to give me the name of their favorite children's agency. The bears are going to be donated to the House of Tiny Treasures, a daycare center for children of homeless parents, and also to Children's Protective Services. This donation is being made in honor of Belinda, Shelley, and Lori. And there are plenty more at home. This is not all of them, so they'll get more. And now I would like to proceed with our installation, and in the interest of time, just so you know, I will not be calling out the names of people who are unable to attend tonight, but you can refer to the complete list in your program. And I also want to tell you, I'm sorry we were a little bit short on the programs because we had a lot of last-minute reservations, which is wonderful, but the programs were printed earlier in the week, so if you could share with your neighbor. Now we will begin. Oh, by the way, dessert is being served after Torah Fund, so don't think you're missing something. You'll get it later. We are told that after Noah had completed his stay in the ark, and it had rained for 40 days and 40 nights, God wanted to assure the people that he would never again destroy the world by a flood. So he placed a rainbow in the sky. The rainbow has come to mean promise to us. It is a fitting symbol for our installation. We promise our officers our support, and in turn, Expect from them their promise to do their best for sisterhood. We can look at the rainbow and find a message which connects us to our holidays. At the outer edge of the rainbow, we see purple. Purple could remind us of Purim since it is the color of royalty. Perhaps Esther was clothed in royal purple. Esther was willing to devote herself to the needs of her people. The spirit of devotion and selflessness characterizes our vice presidents. I would like for all the outgoing vice presidents to come forward. And by the way, when I call your name, just come work your way right over here to the podium. I would like to call upon Sandra Lemesheff, membership, Lisa Lowenstein and Shelley Nadell, Torah Fund, Lori Actor, programming. If you could all please come forward for your purple flowers. We're going to hold our applause till the very end too, if that's okay with you, in the interest of time. And to our vice presidents, you are hereby discharged, and we thank you for leading our sisterhood this past year. Your hard work is greatly appreciated, and Shelley obviously is stepping into the presidency, but for the rest of you, we hope that it won't be long before you will step forward as well. Thank you. Next in the rainbow, we find the color blue, the blue of the sky. We could think about Sukkot as we look up through the shkach, or greenery, on top of our sukkahs, and we can see some of the blue sky through the tiny openings. The blue sky is endless, and the duties of all the chairs of sisterhood seem endless as well. I would like to call forward all outgoing chairs, Deanna Sline for membership, Julie Hirschhorn and Karen Aptekar for programming. A lot of our other officers are out of town, unfortunately. You are all discharged from your duties, and thank you to you also for everything you did this year. The programming was outstanding, and membership as well. Thank you. Green is the next color, which may remind us of Pesach. Right around this time, spring planting occurs. Our forefathers planted spring crops and prayed to God for help in bringing them to fruition. We look to our other board members to bring in new ideas. They plant the seeds which we must water and help to grow. I would like to call forward Sisterhood Shabbat co-chair Naomi Rosner, Shabbat host chairs Blanche Rubine, Reva Stern, Allison Gershenson, Blanche Rubine again, and Deanna Sline. Deanna? Eleanor Goldberg, thanks. Thank you all so very much for your work all year this well. Thank you. Yellow or gold could remind us of Simchat Torah. Gold is priceless, so we could associate gold with the holiday of the rejoicing of the law. Our most precious possession is the Torah, and we recognize that by rejoicing the conclusion of the reading and beginning it again, gold or money is important to us as well. So we may conduct all our programs and events and help out the shul when needed. We count on our treasurer and financial secretary to keep our finances in order, and there is no question that Michelle Goodmark, treasurer, and Ellie Sokol, financial secretary, have done just that. Please come forward. These two women keep doing this job year after year, and they're just outstanding. Wonderful, wonderful volunteers. Thank you. Before you know it, you're going to be called back up here again. Orange represents Hanukkah, the festival of lights. We all know the story of Hanukkah and how the Maccabees looked for pure oil, but they only found enough to last one night. By a miracle, the oil lasted for 8 days and nights. We need light to give us guidance. We need clear light to mark our path through the intricacies of our accomplishments, and these need to be recorded very carefully. Not even a typo can be admitted into the records. Recording Secretary Lori Rubin, please come forward to receive your orange flowers. Thank you, Lori. You're also coming back up here soon. Well, I did have red, but and that was going to represent Shavuot, but I had found out just the other day that Ruth Eagle was unable to be here. She isn't here, is she? No, okay. All right. The president is the coordinator of all the officers and members. She represents all the colors of the rainbow. She has to check in on every member of the board, and we have a very large board, as most of you know. She is charged with the responsibility of standing for sisterhood in the community at all times. She must lead all others, but in turn, come stand beside me. Be guided by them. She must have character, strength, and understanding. Belinda had an extraordinary challenge this year. In the past many years, we have had co-presidents, so all the duties are shared. For the first time in a long time, Belinda had to lead the sisterhood on her own, not to mention the fact that she has also a very full-time career, and she's raising a very busy daughter. Belinda had challenges throughout the year, but she always forged ahead, and she did not give up. She was instrumental in the planning of this year's very successful donor, along with Hannah and Jackie, who couldn't be here tonight. I have always called Belinda the idea woman. Just when you think you are stumped, Belinda comes up with an idea, a plan, and it's not just any plan. It is always very creative and exciting. Belinda, come forward. Let me get these. Yay! To receive your rainbow of flowers. As vast and beautiful as your ideas. Belinda, on behalf of Sisterhood, Shelley, if you could come forward. Shelley has a gift to present to you as well.
I would suggest that it's packed really, really well. So when there's some time, I'll tell you what it is. Okay. You've probably seen it. Oh, turn around. It's the really beautiful clear crystal plate with the Star of David underneath it and the matching candlesticks. You may have seen it in the gift shop window. It's gorgeous, and I thought that would be an appropriate gift for Belinda. And now it turns out in her new home. I didn't even know that we were dealing with that at the time, but anyway. Thank you.
And now I know that Belinda has been waiting for a long time to hear these words. Belinda, you are officially discharged as president of Brith Shalom Sisterhood. And we will now hear from Belinda, and then we'll proceed with the installation.
Thank you all. A song from Don McLean comes to mind as I was thinking about what to say tonight. A long, long time ago, I can still remember, like it was yesterday, when the day before installation I was told I would be going at this job alone. Everyone encouraged me and said they would be there for me and to help me, especially my good friend Julie. Well, I must say that I did have a little help from my friends, to borrow from Julie's speech last year. But to be honest, this year was a challenge. Without a rabbi and coming off of the major fundraiser, Rose, the congregation seemed a little lackluster. Fortunately, our board was not discouraged. We continued on doing what Sisterhood does best, providing for our congregation socially, educationally, spiritually, and of course, financially. Our year started with an incredible Bring It Together membership dinner at the beautiful River Oaks home of Maria Rosenfeld, a special treat. The event was skillfully planned by our membership vice president, Sandra Lemeshev, and her chair, Deanna Swine. The evening featured our new cantor, Renee Waghalter, who engaged us in conversation about women of strength. The dedication of our membership team, including Financial Secretary Ellie Sokol, continued on through the year to contact members and keep them connected. Thank you all. In early September, we were already busy working on our first program of the year and our donor event. By September, the donor event, theme, date, entertainment, and auction letters had already been sent out. Hannah Siegelstein and Jackie Farouche really should pat themselves on the back. It's really strange when you look back how incredibly organized we appeared to be. In October, our first program called Women's Health, Wellness and Creating Change, featuring Bill Vaughn, the wellness coach, and Mary Beth Pappas, both from UT MD Anderson Cancer Center, was on the agenda. Although there were some difficulties, our Vice President, Lori Actor, and Chairs Julie Hirschhorn and Karen Aftekar rallied the troops to what was an excellent and well-attended program at the synagogue. We all learned a little bit about how we view our lives and how to make it better. The programming group continued with their planning for the year. Additional events included a workout at Shape Express, an enlightening program on personal and family finance, which included our new member, Ann Baker-Ron. All in all, our programs enriched our souls, bodies, and minds, as well as providing for our social needs. Thank you to this wonderful committee. With all this planning and organizing going on, there were still the guys, or should I say gals, in the trenches. High Holiday Flowers Chair Phyllis Winnick ably made her calls to assure our bima was beautifully adorned with flowers for the holidays. Our Judaic shop team of Kathy Tucker, Lynn Greenberg, and Linda Maroney provided lovely merchandise for all occasions, as well as the needed funds to support our programs. And not to mention the occasional sales, which I was always in attendance. Next, our library. What innovative programs Jean Lerner coordinated this year. Sunday morning storytelling for younger children, the children's book event in conjunction with the Education Committee and new member Laurie Sack, and the continuation of the computerized cataloging of the books. Yashikoa to Jean. I know this was a challenging year for her. Shabbat host probably had the most difficulty. It was not due to the hard work of Reva Stern, Allison Gershenson, Elaine Kellner, and Blanche Rubine. It's tough to want to be blessed by the rabbi when you don't exactly have one. Next year's plans are already in place to get more involvement in this area, which is a major source of raising funds to cover our Shabbat onyx. If anyone was missed this year, it's not too late to make a donation. Your name will be mentioned in the Madrith, and Cantor Waghalter will bless you. So please come forward. You can still be blessed and you still be recognized, and it is an excellent way to support the onyx that we work so hard to and enjoy. And last but not least, Mitzvah Corps. What an incredible busy year it was for Deanna Sline, Diane Garden, and Eleanor Goldberg. Unfortunately, there were many sad occasions and not quite as many happy ones in our synagogue this year. But you gals rallied our membership and should take pride and comfort for providing to so many. Special thanks goes to Lena Malkoff, who joined in mid-year to help make initial phone calls and contacts. This year, many of our board members' children celebrated B'nai Mitzvah. I was one of them. But we all worked together to assure our sisterhood duties were not neglected. Naomi Rosner and Vivian Blum planned a touching Sisterhood Shabbat weekend in January, complete with a famous Sisterhood Bake Day, and an opportunity for our cantor to enlighten us with the beautiful Star Wars Devar. It was wonderful to hear all our members davening, and particularly special to hear our past presidents leading us in Adon Olam. Another highlight of this event was the announcement of the recipient of this year's Marsh Hashina Award, Judith Rosenstock. We are looking forward to further celebrating this event at our Torah Fund program this evening. The program will feature the lovely cantor Caitlin Bromberg from El Paso, Texas, Mazel Tov to Lisa Lowenstein, Shelley Nadell, and Iris Fisherman, who couldn't be here tonight, on what I know will be another great sisterhood event. I must once again mention our incredible Boot Scootin' Barbecue Ball and Auction. I know I put a lot of effort into this, but so did many of our members, from stuffing auction envelopes, publicity, invitations, cooking, decorating, auction setup, checkout, entertaining, cleanup, and you name it. There was total sisterhood involvement. The success of the program enabled us to donate $25,000 to the synagogue for much needed air conditioning units, as well as reaching our other our budget commitments, which included Onyx Shabbat's, babysitting, camp scholarship, the Nay Mitzvah gifts, JCC book fair, the kitchen, and the library. Finally, I must thank Lori Rubin for supplying excellent minutes from which I could write this speech, and Ruth Eagle for assuring our membership were contacted in their time of need. Through these actions and our programs and activities, we truly fulfilled our mission to have an impact on the educational, spiritual, and social environment of Congregation Brith Shalom and our community. We should all feel proud of our accomplishments. L'dor by may we go from strength to strength. Mazel tov to each of you. I'd like to thank my family, Scott and Lila, who chose to learn how to ride a bike tonight at 13 instead of being here. I thought that was a little bit more important, so I let her go ahead and do that. And to close, I'll just borrow another song from Bob Hope. Thanks for the memories and the opportunities to serve you as president and your friendship. Thank you.
I couldn't find the rest of my speech. Okay, she wants it for next year. One second. Hang on a second. Just 1 second. Okay, we're fine, we're fine. Okay. I will now call up the incoming board to receive their flowers and to install them as our new leaders. As I call your name, come forward. Please hold your applause until I'm finished. If you break in, it's okay. I would like to call up Ways and Means Vice President Denise Mosk, Membership Vice President Deanna Sline, Programming Vice President Sandra Lemeshev. You receive the purple flowers of Purim. And you are all officially installed as our new vice presidents. Mazel tov and best of luck this year. And now for chairpersons, membership chair Lisa Lowenstein, Torah Fund chair Carol Weissman, programming chair Sid Farber. I'm not sure Sid is here. And you all will receive the blue flowers of Sukkot. You are installed as our new chairs, Mazel tov. Our other members of the board will receive the green flowers of Pesach. Sisterhood Shabbat chairs, Debbie Dubin and Naomi Rosner. Shabbat host chairs, Blanche Rubine, Allison Gershenson, and Rosemarie Levinson. Oh, I should have had purple for you.
I'll call you in advance.
Okay. Public Relations, Barbara Rayner. Historian, Karen Aptekar. She's taking a picture. Mitzvah Corps, Deanna Sline. Deanna Sline's going to have a whole bouquet by the end of the night. Eleanor Goldberg. And parliamentarian, Belinda Den. You get to keep one for yourself.
And I'm reading the book this summer.
I would also like to call up our advisor, our cantor, Renee Waghalter. Please come forward. Let's get one more with cantor Waghalter. Today, you are installed as members of our board. Treasurer Michelle Goodmark and Ellie Sokol, please come forward to receive more yellow flowers representing Simchat Torah. You are hereby installed once again. Recording Secretary Karen Shaka Harris. Is she here? Okay. Okay. I would now like for Shelley and Lori to please come forward to receive all the colors of the rainbow. I have a little something I would like to say to both of you, and then right after this we will hear from both Shelley and Lori. Shelley and Lori, the two of you are very good friends. You remind me of when I shared the presidency with Belinda and also with Karen Lucan. I can only hope you have even half the fantastic experience I had with Karen and then with Belinda. Believe it or not, you will become even closer. You will become each other's rock, each other's shoulder to cry on, albeit not too often. Each other's times to break into fits of hysterical laughter. You will rely on each other. You will be able to finish each other's sentences by the end of the year. Yeah, kind of like a marriage, although you will probably talk to each other more than you will talk to your husbands. Lori, your calm and your wisdom will truly enhance the presidency. Your experience from being the president just a few years ago will only add to the beauty of your match with Shelley. The fact that you came forward once again to help lead Sisterhood shows your commitment loud and clear. It also speaks volumes about your devotion to Shelley. And Shelley, your excitement, enthusiasm, and creativity will be so good for our sisterhood, not to mention all the experience you have. You have been on the board for so many years, and it is time for you to take the reins and fly. We look forward to watching your flight. You are both officially installed as our new co-presidents, and I have a pin for each of you, and then after I place the pin on them, and I hope I might need some help with better eyes than what I have, then we will hear from Shelley and then from Lori.
Hey, how you doing?
after Shelley and Lori have finished speaking, we would like for all of the board, incoming or outgoing, to come up to the front for a picture, and then we'll quickly move into the sanctuary for the Torah Fund event. And now we have Shelley and Nadel.
Lori asked me how long I was going to speak. People get worried when I get up in front of a microphone. Short and sweet, as Goldie told me earlier tonight. I love Disney animated movies, and one of my favorite movies is The Lion King. The theme of the movie is the circle of life. In Judaism, we use the phrase l'dor vador, from generation to generation, to express this concept of returning to our beginnings, to our roots. This theme has been running through my head all week, and I'd like to talk with you about it for a few moments tonight as I prepare to lead you as Sisterhood co-president. Watching my children has given me practical insights into just how powerful the concept of l'dor vador can be. This week, my oldest child, with the flowers, Leia, who could have been my twin 32 years ago were it not for those long legs she got from my father, I think, was scrambling eggs for breakfast. My mom, who I'm blessed to have with me tonight, always told me stories of how I would do the same thing as a child. I love the responsibility of cooking. Leia is also a great people organizer, and it's gratifying to watch her use that creativity to help people and get things done. Samantha, the child whom I thought for years was her father's twin, except for her eyes, has now turned into a model of me in one distinct way, her love for books. Last week at Shul, during the bat mitzvah, in the midst of all the crowds of people and all the noise, I watched Samantha sit in the Shul lobby and read yet another Nancy Drew book cover to cover, oblivious to everything and everybody around her. Like me, Samantha has an eye for detail, and she's very precise in her words and her actions. I look at her and see a loving, smiling child who can go from silly to serious in the blink of an eye. She's a gift to everyone who knows her. The jury's still out on my son Daniel, who at 4 is a mystery to me. I'm hoping he will reflect his father's kind heart and sensible demeanor, but only time will tell with him. So as I have come to realize how my children reflect their parents, the obvious question I asked myself was, how am I carrying on the generation of my parents? What part of the person I am today can be traced back to my mother and father and generations before them? The answer to that question is why I stand before you tonight. As far back as I can remember, my parents instilled in me a commitment to public service and volunteerism through their service to ADL, Hadassah, schools, and the synagogues. Just like voting, volunteerism and community service was never an option for us. And I began at an early age to practice what they preached. Throughout school, I was involved in volunteer activities, especially those that nurtured my love for drama and the stage. You are looking at probably the only, or at least the first, Jewish Easter Bunny and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Houston ever had. It's very good. Fundraising for the homeless and United Way and serving ADL were other examples of my volunteerism. In the spring of 1991, my then fiancé David and I completed yet another link in the circle of life. We came to Brith Shalom for Friday night services, and Cantor Procus and the choir were singing. Needless to say, I was hooked. Little did I know that I was renewing a connection begun almost 40 years earlier, when my parents, Bernice and Ernest Levitt, helped found this place I now call my home away from home. Sometimes more than I want it to be, but it's my home away from home. Flash forward, and I think it was 6 years ago, either 5 or 6, and me walking in the synagogue lobby. My friend and fellow singer Lori Rubin waves to me to join a meeting in the library, and blissfully naive, I did just that. An hour later, I was a new co-chair of Sisterhood donor. I wasn't even a member of Sisterhood, mind you, but I was co-chair. And no, I'm not doing this to get back at Lori. Having survived that trial by fire, I realized that Sisterhood offered me something that I had been missing, a vehicle to serve the shul in ways other than singing, and to develop a network of like-minded women who understood and understand the importance of giving back to our community. Once again, I was hooked, and I have never regretted my decision. Tonight I stand before you a stronger, somewhat wiser, and much more humble woman than I was that fateful night 5 or 6 years ago. I have learned that treating people with respect and kindness is a much more effective way to accomplish my goals. Acting like General Patton did not get me very far back then. I now understand the critical importance of building teams to get things done, rather than being a lone ranger. I might have avoided some burnout had I taken that approach earlier. Now, I know it's not Nancy's phone this time because there's a different ring to it. So. And I have come to appreciate the incredible depth of talent and compassion that Sisterhood members bring to the table. I am constantly amazed at the creativity and commitment of Brith Shalom women and their ability to make their precious few hours of free time count for so much more. Brith Shalom is a special place of spiritual growth and refuge from the chaos of our modern lives, and Sisterhood plays a vital role in making that happen. It will not surprise those of you who know me that my priority as president will center on improving communications. Where's my soapbox? Stand on it. Whether communicating with current members, potential members, or the community at large, Sisterhood must and will do a better job of, to coin a phrase, tooting our own horn. I'm not bragging, far from it, but rather we want to let people know that these women, my friends and my colleagues, have so much to offer our Brith Shalom family. Membership in Sisterhood is truly a gift that every woman in the shul should take advantage of and use to her benefit. We have one of the most incredible leadership development opportunities around, and with your help, I intend to promote that at every opportunity. I have many people to thank for getting me to this exciting moment. My first person I want to thank is Sandy Cohen, who couldn't be here tonight, but she made me this gorgeous kippah in honor of tonight, and I want to thank her. My second thank you is to my dear friend Lori, who I see beyond the flowers there. She's there. Lori and I have known each other for 13 years. I met her when we first started choir, and Rachel was literally in her baby carrier. And I have always admired her savvy, down-to-earth approach to life and its many curveballs. I've watched her raise her kids, go through several careers, and endure home remodeling with grace and flair. I consider myself very fortunate to call her my friend, and I'm blessed by her agreement to serve with me this year. Next, I'd like to thank my mother, Bernice Levitt. I mentioned earlier how she and my father instilled in me a commitment to service. What I didn't say is how I've come to depend on her for advice, guidance, and a shoulder to cry on. Now that I'm a mother, I rely on her for so much, and her presence here tonight is testimony to my pride in carrying on her tradition of giving back to the community. I thank my children in advance for their understanding and support during the next 2 years. I asked my daughters to come tonight for 2 reasons. 1, I want them to share the special moment. And 2, I want them to understand the very special group of women I am preparing to serve and to set the example of service for them as my mom did for me. They are 1 blink away from becoming young women, so nobody blink, okay? And I hope they remember this night as a stepping stone and they're becoming responsible Jewish adults and completing the circle once again. I saved the best and most important for last. My husband David is truly a special guy. He has encouraged my volunteer activities and has never begrudged me the time away from the family. He's always ready to step in with childcare and is the best father and friend our kids could ever have. I want to publicly acknowledge the sacrifices he will be making to give me this opportunity to serve and thank him for being my support in every way. It's called a preemptive strike, okay? I couldn't do this without him, and I would never want to do it without him. In Pirkei Avot, Hillel teaches us that, make sure I say this right, Im ein ani li mi li, u'she'ani la'atzmi ma'ani, ve'im lo achshav imatai. That translates as, if I am not for me, who will be? If I am for myself alone, who am I? And if not now, when? As this new board of talented women moves forward to serve Brith Shalom, I hope we will not forget to take care of ourselves first, and then use our strength and commitment to inspire our children, grandchildren, and all Jewish women to give their time and energy for the public good. And that way, we will all truly be completing the circle of life that our parents and their parents began so many years ago. Thank you for the honor and privilege of serving you.
Thank you, Shelley. That was just beautiful. Thank you so much. We look so forward to your leadership. And as I said earlier, we're just so grateful to Lori. She just was one of our most strong, wonderful presidents a few years ago, and she has agreed to come forward again to help Shelley for this year. And Lori would like to say a few words.
Very few. 3 has always been my lucky number. So I'm hoping that this time 3 will be the charm, and it will be the best year as president yet. And I look forward to Torah fun for the rest of the evening. Thank you.
This concludes our installation, and I wish a mazel tov. Oh, excuse me, one moment. Belinda, Shelley, could you come forward? Belinda's going to officially present Shelley with the gavel. A definite must at any installation.
Cool. Thank you, Darla. Picture.
Not yet. So this concludes our installation now, and if all of you who have been on the board this past year or are coming on the board, if you could please come up to the front for a big group picture, and if everyone could go into the sanctuary for Torah fun. We thank you all for coming. Mazel tov to all.